The Mohawk Valley.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And our unbelievable summer weather just seems to keep rolling on, but changes in the air, right?
Yes, and it's to the sky out west for us. Now, much of the day today is going to be quiet and dry, but we head into the mid-afternoon, early evening. Things are changing. Let's take a look at what's going on the radar early this morning. And again, here locally, not a whole lot. Just a downpour, matter of fact, out near Watertown. That's about it. So no rainfall expected for some of you. In fact, for a lot of area schools, which are starting their school year today. It's been depending on location, your school year is starting different days of the week, but a lot of them starting today. And again, heading off to school, it's going to be a dry start. As we head into the evening, 3, 4, 5 p.m., we've got some of these showers and heavier rainfall to be tracking. So maybe pack that rain jacket, umbrella with them when they head off to school, because it's going to be a bit rainy as they head off from the school bus. Downtown Utica, dry start this morning. Temperatures in the 60s and 50s, so not nearly as cool as yesterday, well, with the exception of Saranac Lake, which is in the low 40s. But again, today starts out dry. We head into the afternoon, 2 p.m., near 80 degrees, 4 p.m., seeing those showers start to fire up and thunderstorms too. We're going to track those, plus we'll talk about the risks with these storms, if any could turn severe, coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Utica Common Council has passed.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday. Happy Thursday. And as we enter today, it's going to be a quiet start, but again, as we head into the afternoon, things are going to turn a little more unsettled, a little more rainy, and in some spots, a little more on the stormy side. We take a look at some Mesnet cameras this morning, and it's mainly dry across the area. Some reports of fog in the Adirondacks, but besides that fog, not really that widespread. Right here you can see pretty much good visibility across the board. Traffic tracker is looking green. No accidents to report of as well early today. And as you head outside this morning, it's a pleasant start in the 50s with mostly sunny skies. As we head throughout the afternoon, though, mainly on your evening commutes, you might need to use your windshield wipers. With some showers and storms moving through, some of this rain will be heavy at times. We're going to track how much rain we could see. When we see that rain, will there be any severe weather impacts? And if there is, what impacts would they be? All that and more coming up in just a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Generations have eaten.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
A rather dark start this morning as the sunrise progressively gets later and later in the day. Now, although it is dark out, the temperature actually not too bad. So you see pleasantly in the 60s and 50s for much of our area. Look at the radar and satellite, though, but it's not going to last too long. We're going to see some showers and a few thunderstorms develop from the west. Here's a look at the radar and satellite, and there you can see right there out near Toronto and just west of Buffalo, where all that rainfall is taking place. And again, that's going to be arriving later on in the day today. So if you have any yard work this morning and early this afternoon, you should be okay. Tomorrow, same story. It's dry. In fact, dry for the entire day. Saturday, though, is our best shot for more widespread, steadier rain. MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. The temperatures, too. But following the cold front today, not really cooling down that much. Look at that, 78 degrees the high Friday. But as we head into Saturday, that cold front is going to drop those temperatures. Look at this, 64 degrees, 66, 63. We will slowly warm back up again, but it's going to be a cooler end to the weekend. So in the bigger picture here, here's that cold front. It's producing that widespread rainfall this evening, that pocket of very cold air, even some snow showers north of Lake Superior taking place. But that cold pocket is going to recede a little bit tomorrow and then return again with another cold front Saturday. This one, as it passes over us, is going to push that cold air east, especially as we head into Sunday. But when it comes to the storm risk today, we are at a level 1 out of 5. Still no big changes. What I'm tracking right now is the front is going to enter our area and weaken. So there may be a few storms still lingering that might survive, but the biggest risk being heavy rainfall. Second biggest risk, some stronger straight line winds. Isolated tornadoes can't be ruled out, but again, the risk is very low. Skycast is dry today to start. Here comes those showers and thunderstorms right here between 3 and 6 p.m. That has progressed a little bit earlier, but either way, there's still some lingering showers into the late evening and early overnight. Drying up by Friday with patchy fog turning to sunshine. And then Friday night, things start to turn a little more unsettled, especially by Saturday morning. Look at this right here. 9, 10, 11 a.m. Here comes that widespread rain, and then those temperatures begin to drop. So when it comes to rainfall totals, some pockets of the area picking up a ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch. And then as we head to Saturday, there's more rainfall accumulated on top of that. A lot of spots could pick up eventually 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches when all is said and done by the end of Saturday. Following Saturday, yes, it's still cooler, but it dries up with plenty of sunshine returning. So not too bad of a stretch. Maybe some long sleeve weather Sunday and Monday, but still plenty of sunshine, so grab those sunglasses too.
So plan on golf for Sunday, right?
Golfing on Sunday, not too bad. Just avoid Saturday, the golf balls are a little wet.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:20. Oh, good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. Our run of gorgeous weather might be coming to an end. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, I think you're mentioning it's just a matter of when, right?
Yeah, when is the answer today. I mean, it is dry this morning, so our dry stretch continues, but this afternoon, we got some of this in the radar right here. Let's take a look at what's going on here across pretty much all of New York State. And as you can see here, dry locally, a thunderstorm north of Watertown near the Thousand Island area, 2 lightning strikes up there, but besides that, here locally, it's entirely quiet. But behind me right here is where all those showers and storms are starting to fire up. So we'll track those throughout the day today. But again, here in downtown Utica, it is a dry, quiet morning. Temperatures already starting this morning in the 60s in Rome, 69 in Syracuse, 55 in Hamilton, and quite a difference as you head up in the Adirondacks, 41 degrees up in Saranac Lake. So today, we start out dry, lots of sunshine in the late morning, early afternoon, but as you head into the evening, 4 to 6 p.m., that's when we start to see those showers and thunderstorms fire up. And this could produce some decent rainfall, maybe some storms, which also could be on the stronger side. We'll track those storm risks, have the details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery in Delhi.
Welcome back to News Channel 2 at sunrise on this Thursday. Our photo of the day today looks probably like a painting. If it didn't look like a photo to me, this looked like it was hand-drawn. Just look at this shot right here of a summer sunset on Oneida Lake. Look at all the vibrant reds and oranges. And I'm showcasing this photo because, of course, we're on the waning days of summertime. And a reminder that as we exit summer with all the great weather that it has to offer, we also enter one of the nicest seasons of the year, or in fact, in my opinion, my favorite season of the year, due to the fact that we just have some of the best fall foliage in the nation right in our backyard. Of course, the weather also is pretty nice too. You got some cooler temperatures, refreshing, crisp fall air. Either way, though, thank you for that photo submission. If you have one you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The NFL season officially...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
It's a dry start today, but as we head throughout the afternoon, things are going to turn a little more unsettled, and especially by this evening, showers and storms will be pretty present. Let's take a look at the radar and satellite right now, where, again, it's dry here locally, but to our west near Toronto and Buffalo. That's where that cold front is moving in. And with it, So far, not a whole lot of storm activity, but still some pretty heavy rainfall. So, you have any yard work you get done today? Early is your best bet. Tomorrow, pretty much all day long, it's actually dry, but Saturday, we're going to see a secondary front roll in. That's going to bring additional rainfall. MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. So not only will we see rain showers today and on Saturday, but we're going to see a temperature drop. Now, the cold front today is not going to produce a whole lot of difference in the temperature. See here, tomorrow 78, but Saturday, that secondary front's actually going to be starting to reduce that high temperature in the low to mid 60s for maybe 2 or 3 days before we slowly warm back up again. So we're getting a taste of some fall-like weather in a couple of days. So here's that initial front. It's going to move its way east throughout the day today. Cold pocket of air bringing snow showers north of Lake Superior. That's not hitting our area, but some of this cold air is going to slingshot into our region, especially late Saturday into Sunday, as that secondary front you can see right there begins to move in. Now, back to the front we're seeing today. Any severe risk? Well, we have a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms. Our thoughts are that the front moves its way east and it weakens. In the process, though, there's still going to be a few straggling storms that could be on the stronger side. Biggest risk being some embedded wind gusts, straight line winds. Isolated tornado can't be ruled out. It's a very low but non-zero chance. So figure to mention it. Either way, on a day like today, it's not a high risk, but make sure you have your Storm Tracker 2 app handy for any warnings that might pop up throughout the afternoon and evening. So on our Skycast, a dry start today, sunshine. Here comes those showers and storms. It might move in a little bit earlier, between 3 and 6 p.m. And in the wake of it, we got another round of showers coming in the evening and overnight. Things dry up, a foggy start to your day Friday, warming back up into the 70s, near 80 again Friday afternoon. So almost as if the cold front area passed over us. But that south wind will change, especially as we head to Saturday. Here comes that secondary front, bringing widespread, steady rainfall throughout the afternoon Saturday. And then we get that northwest wind kicking in. It's going to cool down a little bit as we head into the end of the weekend. So rainfall totals for today's rainfall between 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch for a lot of the area, as it passes over us in the late evening and overnight. Then next rain chance Saturday, lingering spotty drizzle Sunday, but overall it does begin to dry up again as high pressure dominates and we slowly warm up again into the 70s by the middle of next week. So a bit of a cool down, but overall we're not seeing any consistent cool downs in the short-term forecast.
Get ready for later today, right?
Yes, got some showers coming in.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And get ready for some rain finally, right?
Yeah, it's been long awaited here in the Mohawk Valley. It's been so sunny and dry, and yeah, we got some arriving later today, but today's starting out looking pretty nice. Let's take a look at the radar early today. In fact, we begin with a relatively quiet start in the 60s and 50s with some sunshine too. So it's a very pleasant morning out there, especially for those of you who are sending your kids off to school for the first time this year. I know a lot of local schools are starting today. And you've got great weather to begin. But out west, this is where we're tracking that rainfall. So toward the evening hours, 3, 4, 5 p.m. is where that rainfall begins to move its way east into our area. But at least for now, look at this scene right here in downtown Utica. Got some beautiful clouds out there in the distance, and temperatures peaking this morning in the low 60s in Rome, 57 in Hamilton, and sitting at 41 degrees in Saranac Lake. So today, we're going to see those temperatures climb from the 60s up into the near 80 degree mark this afternoon. Notice here the sunshine turns a little stormy by 4 to 6 p.m. Now, showers and storms arrive this evening. How strong will they be? Will there be any significant risks here? And will there be any more following that heading into tomorrow or even Saturday? All that and more coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Utica Common Council has passed.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody. Looking at the forecast for today. We are tracking a dry start, but As we head into the afternoon, we're going to see chances for a few more showers and thunderstorms. Look at the road conditions heading outside today. Again, with the lack of rainfall, no true impacts early today. There are some pockets of fog, but it does appear to be extremely isolated, even less common than yesterday. You can see Glens Falls really the only outlier up there. Traffic tracker is green across the board today. No accidents to report. And as you head out to work this morning, expect lots of sunshine and temperatures starting out in the 40s, 50s, and even in the Mohawk Valley, low to mid 60s. This afternoon, though, a few showers and thunderstorms pass over the area. So make sure you have that umbrella handy. Leave those windows shut as you head out to work today and leave it in the parking lot. We're going to track those storms this afternoon. We'll talk about the timing, amount of rain, and any severe weather impacts in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Generations have eaten.
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
A beautiful view outside on this early Thursday morning. Good morning, everybody. And today we begin with dry weather, but again, that's going to change as we head into the afternoon and into the evening hours. Radar and satellite right here shows us that although things are dry here locally, we've got some activity out to the west. That's that cold front we've been mentioning the past couple of days. It's going to move its way into our area this afternoon, roughly between 3 and 6 p.m. I'm thinking more on the earlier side. Usually anytime these systems arrive, they always arrive earlier than expected. So 3, 4, 5 p.m., right on the 4 p.m. range here. So it's dry to start, but it's going to rain this afternoon and the evening. Tomorrow it's mainly dry. Saturday, rain showers develop in the late morning, early afternoon. So if you want to mow the lawn, tomorrow is your best bet, or early today. Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. So we mentioned temperatures. Yes, we have a cold front moving in today, but it's not going to change the temperature all too much, and I'll explain why here in a second. But the secondary cold front that arrives Saturday is going to seriously drop those temperatures into the 60s, especially by Sunday and Monday next week. We'll slowly warm up again, though, as we head into the middle of next week, however. So we zoom out a little bit. Here's that cold front, and as it moves its way east, it's going to fire up some showers and thunderstorms. In the wake of it, we're going to see that south wind return. That cold air kind of recedes a little bit, but then it arrives again. After we see widespread rainfall Saturday, that cold air right here begins to move its way east. But back to the storms and showers we're tracking today. Level 1 out of 5 risks for severe weather, indicated by this dark green area right here. And these are the risks. Biggest concern, heavier rainfall. Obviously, we have some stronger potential wind gusts, straight line winds. Isolated tornado can't be ruled out. It's a very low but non-zero chance. So it's something we just want to keep our guard up for. But if you want access to immediate information from potential warnings and whatnot from the storms or from the front today, download the Storm Tracker 2 app. You can scan it with your phone right below me using that QR code. It'll take you right to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, depending on the type of phone you have. You can get the notifications right there. So today it's sunny to start, dry early afternoon. In the evening, here comes those thunderstorms. Initially as a straight line, then as we head into the evening, a few lingering random showers before it dries up overnight, with some morning fog turning to afternoon sunshine Friday. Still, though, Friday is mainly dry and sunny, and even warm too. And then as we head into Saturday, we start out pleasant and dry. By the late morning and early afternoon, that widespread rain moves over us, returning again. So rainfall today between, I would say, 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch for a lot of the area. We're going to see a little bit more by Saturday, but following those two rainfall chances, we do drive a little bit by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week into the 60s, eventually 70s. So it's a short cool down, then eventually a slow warm-up again.
Welcome to September, right?
Here we are with the changing seasons, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter again. And thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. If you have been waiting for the change of seasons, well, today might be your day. Eric, you're actually tracking a cool down, right?
Yeah, and it's going to take a few days to arrive, but we're going to be seeing some changes in the weather patterns starting today. Let's take a look at the radar right now because of course, things starting out today are dry. It's sunny. It's even on the warm side, too. In Mohawk Valley, we're starting in the 60s, but out west right here, we've got some rainfall moving in. This is the leading edge of a cold front, which will initially cool things down a little bit, warming back up again tomorrow, but as we head into the weekend, things are going to turn a little bit more on the cooler side. Either way, we take a look at downtown Utica. Blue skies, great shot of the clouds out there in the distance this morning, and a temperature of 63 degrees in Rome, 67 in Syracuse, and 41 up in Saranac Lake. So a bit of a cool down up in the North Country. So what can you expect today? Starting out sunny by 3 to 6 p.m., we're going to see some of those showers and thunderstorms begin to form and move their way into our area. Some of these storms could be on the stronger side. This front's weakening as it moves into central New York, but a couple of those storms might still survive and push their way east. We'll track those. We'll talk about the risks with these storms, and on top of that, how long this rainfall lasts, how much we could see, and if any more is on the way later on this week in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Omni, we've got your back.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody. On this Thursday, we have been treated to a lot of very amazing pictures this week, and this one right here caught my eye because of a couple of things. For one, it looks like a painting. Look at this shot right here of a summertime sunset on Oneida Lake, a breathtaking view of those clouds out there in the distance. And secondly, this is also a sign of summertime here in central New York, and that we're in the waning days of summer, entering fall. And as we say goodbye to sunsets like these, we're going to say a welcome to the fall foliage and one of the nicest seasons, in my opinion, here in the Northeast, and the fact that we have some of the best fall foliage right here in our backyards. It's great to live in an area like that we have that ability to see all that amazing fall foliage. So I can't wait to see all those fall pictures coming up in only a couple of weeks. I'm already starting to see a few of those trees begin to change right now. We're going to talk about potentially some fall-like weather arriving this weekend and some additional rainfall chances coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The NFL season officially kicks off.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. We've got a pretty nice start to the day today. Some pretty mild temperatures and a dry start, but as we head throughout the afternoon, some more showers and even a few thunderstorms move in. Let's take a look, though, at our sky watchers checking in from across central New York. First off, Mike in New Hartford, 60. Bob in Clinton, 61 degrees. Todd out in Westdale at 55. Bill and Sean in Old Forge and Inlet sitting at 55 and 56 degrees. Stewart in Cooperstown, 57. Gary and Schemas, 47. Deb in Harwick, 57 degrees. And Scott in Evanston with 51. Now, after this mild/warm start today, we're going to see that rainfall begin to move in. And this is going to arrive roughly between 3 and 6 p.m. I'm thinking more on the earlier side, around 4 p.m. or so. But either way, it's a dry morning. So you do any yard work early today, you're in the clear. It's going to be raining in this evening, and then tomorrow it's dry. Saturday, middle of the day, it's going to be producing some pretty steady rainfall. So that's the plan for any outdoor work. MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Here's a look at the larger scale picture right here. Here's that cold front. It's going to move its way east, produce showers, even a few thunderstorms here locally this evening, and then it does dry up tonight. Now, normally, following a cold front, it does cool down, right? Well, in this case, that cold air kind of recedes a little bit. We're going to have that south wind returning again. Tomorrow is going to be rather warm, but then the secondary front arrives Saturday. That's going to bring our next chance of widespread rain. More importantly, it's going to cool things down as that cold air finally moves in, heading into the second half of the weekend. But back to the weather we're seeing today. Cold front moves in, level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather in that dark green area right here. Biggest concern will be some stronger embedded wind gusts. Isolated tornado can't be ruled out, but again, that chance is very little, if not close to zero. But the chance is there. So on a day like today, not an alarming day, but to make sure you're up to date with any new warnings and whatnot, download the Storm Tracker 2 app, scan it using the QR code right below me, and you can have access to that information as soon as it happens. So today, lots of sunshine, near 80 degrees. Cold front moves through. Initially, widespread heavier rainfall and thunderstorms, turning to some scattered showers overnight. It dries up Friday, warming up into the upper 70s, near 80 degrees, and then we're going to see that rainfall arrive again on Saturday. How much rain can we expect today? Much of the area picking up roughly 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and then things begin to dry up again, and then another 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch for rainfall on Saturday. That time, not nearly as high of a risk of storm potential, but following that, it does cool down into the 60s before warming back up again into the 70s by the middle of next week. So slight cool down, early taste of fall, but it will warm back up again, so we're not done with summer just yet.
Eric, thanks. Well, identity theft is something you hear about. Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, quite a nice day out there, but I saw that radar.
Yeah, got a little busy out west. For now, though, we're enjoying all that sunshine out there today. Let's take a look at what's going on in the radar, though. Yes, quiet here. Out west, a different story. We have that cold front slowly moving in. It produced some showers and storms out near Rochester. It is now right along the thruway corridor in between Rochester and Syracuse. So give it a couple more hours. We're thinking roughly around 2:30, 3 o'clock for western portions of Oneida County, heading into the Utica area around 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then as it moves onward, we still have some lingering rain trailing it, but we're just closely focusing on what's going on the leading edge of it. That's where the heaviest of rain is falling. Still, though, despite that on the radar, you might see the scene outside and think, well, it's a beautiful day out today, but again, that's going to change as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Look at the temperature difference here. If you are wondering where the cold front is, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. 79 Rome, 80 Syracuse, 61 in Buffalo. So we have those rain showers and some cooler temperatures trailing it, although it is temporary. So today, in the 80s, storms roll in between 3, 4 p.m. in some locations, a little later, especially head to the Mohawk Valley. Tonight, lingering rain showers ending around midnight. Tomorrow, starting out cool, but quickly rebounding back near 80 again before tracking another cold front arriving. We'll track all that rainfall plus the severe weather risk today in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Right now, the video of the
WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Lots of sunshine out there this afternoon, but to our west is where the weather is going to take a rainier turn. Let's take a look at the radar and satellite right now because, of course, here locally, there's not a whole lot of activity going on, but out beyond, in fact, just in between Rochester and Syracuse, in parts of the Finger Lakes, that's where the initial line of storms are currently taking place. And right now, we're going to closely monitor it. It is firing up a few thunders, or at least lightning bolts right now, but the strength, just closely watching it. It is expected to strengthen a little bit as it enters this portion of our area, and then it's going to weaken as it continues its way east. But in the process, still some stronger wind gusts, heavy rainfall, the biggest concern with this. And isolated tornado risk, it's very low, if non-zero, but still something to mention. So we would rather let you guys know about it than just sweep under the rug, especially for a system like this. There's a lot of shear or change in wind speed and direction with altitude. And anytime we get a setup like that, we never like to ignore those scenarios. So today's highs near 80 degrees, same thing as we head into Friday near 80 degrees. So this cold front coming through this evening not really changing a whole lot overall. But Saturday's cold front, a different story. And we can actually see this right here on the map. So here's that cold front today. It's going to move its way east. And despite that cold air trying to push its way east, it's going to recede a little bit before our next round of rainfall arrives Saturday. And that is from a secondary cold front, and that's going to slowly usher in some cooler air from the west. It's not a major plunge, but we're going to get a small taste of early fall. So on our Skycast this afternoon, we got a strong south wind, humidity slowly rising, but not really that high. I think that's really the limiting factor on some severe storm potential today is that low humidity. But either way, it's going to arrive roughly in central Oneida County near Rome between 3 and 3:30, 4 p.m. toward Utica, and then 5:30 exiting Little Falls towards Fulton and Montgomery counties. There might be a potential dry slot before more rain arrives in the evening and overnight. So we're not counting rain out entirely between 6 p.m. and midnight. But following midnight, it does dry up. Lingering fog, sunshine, warming up quickly again. That south wind arrives in full force. Pretty nice but breezy Friday. And then Saturday starts out dry before that front moves in, producing some more widespread rain showers in the afternoon and into the early evening. So how much rainfall we're expecting? Well, for today, between ½ an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then as we head into Saturday, maybe tack on another ½ an inch and 3/4 of an inch as well. So overall, we could see ½ an inch to 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 for parts of our area after the next couple of days. And then we cool down a little bit. It dries up for the most part, relatively quiet stretch next week, slowly warming up again. So we got a bit of a cool down, and then that's really about it for our early taste of fall, Gary. We're back to seasonably warm temperatures by the end of next week.
Yeah, and those cool overnight temperatures means the leaves may be changing early.
Yes, crisp overnight lows, not below freezing, and some sunny days make some nice colors.
Yeah, we're going to see them soon. Eric, thanks. Well, are you ready for some foot? Eric Gage joining us now, and boy, these look threatening out west.
Yeah, lots of heavier rain passing through parts of Geneva, heading towards Syracuse. In fact, let's zoom in the radar right now. Let's see what's going on. First off, let's go back home here into the Mohawk Valley. Quiet, no showers, no storms, nothing. Out west, that's where that activity is. When you zoom in a little bit, we can see the areas being impacted this right now. In fact, it is currently slamming Geneva with a heavy downpour just outside Arcadia, heading its way towards parts of Victory and Mentz as it continues its way through the Thruway corridor over the next couple of hours. So again, right now we look outside, it's sunny, it's beautiful out, blue skies, temperatures approaching near 80. Well, you can just see that temperature difference as you head out west. 66 Rochester, 60 in Buffalo. So you can kind of see where that cold front is. But either way, as we head throughout the afternoon, that's going to arrive and produce a few showers and storms, roughly entering central Oneida County between 3:30 and 4:30, and then heading out toward the Mohawk Valley between 4:30 and 5:30. Then the storms turn to lingering rain showers until the late evening, around midnight, and then things begin to quiet down. We're going to track the storm chances as well as the biggest risks with these storms and what follows as we head into the weekend straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Los Angeles
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
On the tower cam just moments ago, you can see out in the distance all those showers and storms. Besides that, directly over us, blue skies. Let's take a look at the radar and satellite, because what we can see right here is a lot of that storm activity out to our west. And for now, there is a 20% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch being issued. Basically, that means that it's unlikely to happen. We're not seeing a whole lot of strong activity, which is the good news. We need beneficial rain, not severe storms here. So we're going to keep a close eye in the front. For now, we're expecting a line of thunderstorms followed by some scattered showers. And at least with this initial line, maybe a few embedded strong wind gusts. So that's the biggest risk today. Heavy rainfall, strong embedded winds. Yes, there is some shear in the atmosphere that could produce an isolated tornado or two, but the risk is little, if any. In fact, it's near zero. But because there's shear in the atmosphere, there's still a very, very, very low chance, and we'll always mention the chance if there ever is one, just in case. So, we look at the temperatures today. It's very warm. Tomorrow, also very warm, despite this cold front coming in. If you're wondering why that's the case, I'll show you here right in a second. But there's a secondary front that moves in Saturday that's going to cool things down heading into the weekend. So here we are. Here's that front coming through. It's going to push its way east, but that cold air recedes. We see some warm air returning again tomorrow. It's a pretty nice Friday, but then here comes that secondary front on Saturday, and that's going to allow some of that cooler air to slowly work its way in from the west. So timing it out today, still dry, 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. It's going to hit Oneida County. 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. It's going to enter Herkimer and Otsego County. By 5:30, it's exiting, heading toward Fulton and Montgomery counties. And then lingering showers turn to quiet conditions overnight. By early Friday, patchy fog turns to sunshine and another warm day near 80 degrees before things begin to turn a little more unsettled by Saturday. We start out with some sunshine Saturday, turning to a few more clouds. Then that widespread rain moves in around noontime and then lingers through the afternoon and into the evening before things quiet down Saturday night and cool down by Sunday. So when it comes to rainfall totals, notice here it's not completely widespread, but a lot of the area will pick up between a ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch for this system coming through, as well as what could be following that as we head into Saturday. You can see the overall rainfall totals for a lot of the area. In fact, probably a little bit lower. I think it may be 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch overall but when this is all said and done. So following the rain showers Saturday, again, it does cool down. We're going to enter a pretty quiet and dull stretch of weather. But of course, dull stretch of weather means sunshine, a lack of serious rainfall, and some slightly warming temperatures. So as expected, we're seeing a return to some more warm late summer into early fall. And then hopefully that can produce some pretty vibrant colors, Gary, especially with the sunny days ahead.
And dull never sounded so good.
Dull looks pretty good.
We love dull. Eric, thanks. Well, 5 school
News with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
Warm, late summer weather comes to an end this week, but not before a summer-like storm.
Yeah, just passed through. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking from the Weather Center. I mean, is this event over or is it still widespread?
It's coming in rounds. We've been getting a couple of rounds. The next one will be rolling through for many of us within the next hour. We are tracking widespread rain. Here's round 1, second round moving through the Mohawk Valley, third round out to the west. Again, the strongest round at this moment is out towards Syracuse, but we are getting some thunder and lightning along with this. Nothing serious, but again, if you are outdoors, you're going to want to get inside. Again, when thunder roars, head indoors is the saying. This is heading to the north and east, so this will be passing just south of the Mohawk Valley. And again, we're watching this area up towards Syracuse as well. So lots of things to track here this evening. Things will quiet down, though, after, say, 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. Current temperature 68 degrees, starting to cool off in the wake of this cold front. We're looking at breezy, pleasant conditions Friday, but it does cool off quite a bit heading into the weekend, especially Saturday. That looks to be a cloudy, cooler day. The weather looks pretty nice heading into early next week. We do have some chilly nights ahead. Tracking showers, a few rumbles of thunder this evening, temperatures in the 60s. Again, a nice finish to the work week, but again, some rain to track too for the weekend. We'll look at the forecasts coming up. Back over to you.
The volume of students grew.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We continue to keep an eye on the radar. We've been tracking rounds of showers, a few rumbles of thunder, some gusty winds occasionally along some of the stronger parts of this line. We'll start with a live look in downtown Utica. It's wet. We've been dealing with rain, and it is currently raining over Utica. And I'm counting multiple areas of rain Here's one line to the east, one line right across a good portion of the Mohawk Valley in central New York, and then the third one moving in from Syracuse. So again, this whole line is moving to the east, and we will see more activity here as we head into tonight. As far as anything of concern, anything that would be dangerous, some lightning strikes here, some downpours specifically in Shenango County. This is where we're tracking some downpours, thunder, lightning. Again, this is all moving to the east. We're also keeping an eye in Hamilton County. Lightning strikes out near Lake Pleasant. The strongest part of this line is just north of Syracuse, right here. In fact, we'll just take a closer look at this and see what the winds are doing here. There could be some gusty winds along this. This is going to be passing just north of Oneida Lake. So again, we'll be keeping an eye on that as it eventually moves into northwestern parts of Oneida County. So that one could be producing wind gusts, perhaps 40 to 50 miles an hour. We'll have to keep an eye on that. In fact, we'll do a storm track here and give you a heads up as to where it's going. Camden, 538, Western, 620, Boonville, 633. Again, that's the one to watch in terms of any strong weather at the moment. That's a similar track to a stronger storm that we saw earlier that produced some gusty winds here. So we'll keep you posted on what's going on here throughout the newscast. And a reminder, if you're on the go and it's not easy to access the television, you can always use our Storm Tracker 2 weather app to get alerts to your phone. And it's not just weather alerts. Sometimes it's just if lightning is nearby or if there's any heavy rainfall. Tomorrow is the kickoff of high school football, and we are tracking some generally pleasant weather. Temperatures will be in the low 70s tomorrow evening, and it is expected to be dry. Again, we'll continue to keep an eye on maybe some rain that will be arriving tomorrow night, but I think it's going to be after the games are done. This will be closer to midnight when that next round rolls in. Showers, thunderstorms rolling through the region tonight as a cold front rolls in. This will be our next area of showers for tomorrow night. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast still looking at rain to about midnight, but then things dry out overnight. Patchy fog, temperatures start out in the 50s tomorrow morning. Looks like a beautiful day tomorrow. It's still warm. Temperatures will be close to 80 degrees with lots of sunshine. Tomorrow night, clouds thicken up, and there will be some showers that will arrive as we head into Saturday. It looks like the first part of the day is wet, and then things will dry out later in the day. Cooler Saturday with temperatures in the low 60s. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 54. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 80. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Saturday, again, clouds, showers, not the greatest start to the weekend. Sunday looks to be a better day to be outdoors, 66. Low 60s Monday, and then a really nice weather pattern for next week. Temperatures in the low 70s. A couple of chilly nights ahead, too.
I feel like we went from summer to fall, not just in a matter of days, but in one day.
It feels like it, yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Don't put the barbecues away just yet.
No, not yet.
All right, thanks, Bill. Destructive.
Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
All right, we're tracking showers, thunderstorms rolling through central New York. I wanted to give you an update on the radar here. It's turning into 3 lines. The one that I'm watching the most is this one here, the backside. This is something that could produce gusty winds. I'm thinking it's probably 40 to 50 miles an hour based on some of the radar signatures that I'm seeing here. We'll put a storm track on this, and it's moving across northern Oneida County. Currently not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but I think it's just a step below that. So we're still asking people, if you're in the path of this, get inside at the very least. Ansville, 546, Ava, 604, Boonville, 624, Remsen, 638. We're also watching the southern part of this line in central Shenango County, Madison County. Thunder, lightning with this, some gusty winds. This is heading to the east. There's thunder and lightning along some of this line, just something to keep in mind. We're also seeing the cooler temperatures in the wake of this. 68 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. Nice day tomorrow, but the weather cools off heading into the weekend. We're going to look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Are you ready for some football? Well, the NFL season.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are tracking showers, a few thunderstorms rolling through central New York. It's turned out to be a different afternoon and evening compared to how we started. It's a live look at Oneonta, 63 degrees. I'm tracking rounds of rain, and you can actually see 3 lines of this. Here's the first one that already passed through, the second one affecting a good portion of central New York, and the third one that will be rolling in within the next couple of hours. Thunder and lightning continue along this line as it's entering Otsego County, Edmonston, Brookfield, heavy rain. This is moving slowly to the east-northeast, and again, producing some downpours. I'm watching this part of the line. It's been showing signs of producing gusty winds, perhaps 40 to 50 miles an hour. This is the northern part of Oneida County, the northwestern part. This will go north, well north of Rome, but it does impact areas like Ava at 603, Boonville 624, Forestport 636, and Woodgate at 646. And again, there is some wind here. In fact, if we look at some of the winds here, you can see this spot could be potentially producing some of the stronger winds. That would be just north of Ansville. Again, at this point, it looks like it's straight line, but we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Bigger picture shows that last round will be moving through as we head into later this evening. Once this next round rolls in, the one that's out towards Syracuse, things should start to quiet down. There's some residual showers west of Syracuse, so it's not going to be until probably closer to midnight that this line completely clears our area. We'll get a chance to dry out. Next round of showers arrives late Friday night, rain early Saturday. In fact, I think that rain could linger into most of the day. That's how things have been trending. Temperatures look much cooler for the weekend. 64 Saturday, 66 partly sunny skies on Sunday. A reminder, you can always get weather information on the go if you can't be near a television, but you still need weather information if you're doing outdoor events. This is handy. I'll give you watches, warnings, weather alerts. Even if it's rain heading towards your area, if it's coming down very heavy, it'll give you a notification. Clinton, 72 degrees. Mike in New Hartford, 66. Jeff in Mohawk, 75. Inlet, 66. Cooperstown with 65 degrees. Cold front rolls through. We'll get a chance to dry out tomorrow. It's the second push of cooler weather that arrives this weekend that will be most noticeable in terms of the change. Tonight, widespread rain comes to an end. Overnight lows drop down into the 50s. Patchy fog by tomorrow morning. We'll see fog give way to sunshine tomorrow. Looks like a beautiful afternoon. Breezy, temperatures close to 80 degrees. Tomorrow night, clouds thicken up, and we're tracking some rain as we head into Saturday, especially in the late morning to early afternoon. Temperatures will be cooler with highs in the low 60s. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 54. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 80 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, a cooler weekend. Saturday, showers, 64, 66 Sunday, 63 Monday. Partly sunny skies, warmer weather. Looking ahead to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll be right back.
With Kristen Copeland and Jason Palace.
A warm, sunny day quickly turned into a cool, rainy night.
Absolutely. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis tracking in all from the Weather Center to start us off tonight.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy afternoon here. We've been tracking this cold front. It's not one, not two, but 3 different lines that ended up developing. The first one is out of our area. The second one is bringing widespread heavy rain and a couple of rumbles of thunder, especially south of the Mohawk Valley. The third line seems to be the most intense, at least based on radar, and it's this spot along the Lewis-Oneida County line that looks to be the strongest storm in our area. This could produce 40-mile-an-hour winds. This is going to head near or just south of Boonville. And again, some thunder, some lightning, and some heavy rain with this. And this is all part of a cold front that will be bringing some big changes to our weather. 68 degrees. The sun is back out, at least it says the weather station at Griffith in Rome. Pleasant conditions on Friday. We'll see breezy conditions throughout the day, but another warm afternoon. Much cooler weather as we head into the weekend, especially Saturday. Saturday starts out pretty gloomy. Temperatures in the 60s this evening. We're tracking more showers, a few rumbles of thunder. The weather looks nice to finish the week. I've got to look at that along with the first high school football forecast of the season coming up. Back over to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. 13 dogs have been seen.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking rounds of rain, rumbles of thunder, all part of a cold front, which is here on schedule. This is a live look in downtown Utica. It's wet. It continues to rain. The rain is coming down at a moderate to heavy clip. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. You can see a pretty complicated mess out there. There's 3 lines that have developed. The center one is impacting a good portion of central New York along the Oneida-Herkimer County line. German Flats, heavy rain, thunder, lightning that stretches into the southern part of Otsego County and down into Shenango County. Another part of this strong line is heading towards Boonville. Again, gusty winds with the leading edge of this line. And we do see more activity to the west. So this is going to be a several-hour ordeal with rounds of rain and an occasional rumble of thunder. The tail end of this is out towards Rochester, and that will be coming through later tonight. Again, we'll continue to keep an eye on this. For the most part, it's just downpours. A few of the stronger ones along this line do occasionally produce gusty winds, but so far it hasn't produced anything serious or anything destructive. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts on the go if you can't be near television. This is an easy way to keep track of the weather too by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. High school football begins tomorrow. The weather's looking good. Looking at partly sunny skies into the early evening. Clouds will be thickening up. Temperatures will be in the low 70s. A little warm for the players, but pretty comfortable for the fans. Cloud showers arrive Friday night, and they linger into Saturday. Saturday's high only 64. Sunday looks a little bit nicer. Partly sunny skies. Temperatures in the mid-60s. Skywatchers checking in. Barneveld 66. Micah New Hartford 66. Donna in Norway 67. Cooperstown 65. Many of our Skywatchers were in the 80s before the rain arrived. Again, this is all part of a cold front that will be rolling through tonight. And again, we do get to see the end of the rain arriving around midnight or so. We do get a chance to dry out tonight. Watch out for patchy fog early tomorrow morning. That gives way to sunshine. Looks like a beautiful Friday. Still warm. Temperatures close to 80 degrees. Clouds will be moving in tomorrow night, and the rain eventually arrives Saturday. It looks like the morning to early afternoon will be wet, and it will be on the cooler side. Temperatures only in the low 60s. The steadier rain will be in the upper 50s for a good portion of the day. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 54. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, temperatures near 80. A very pleasant afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Cool for the weekend. 64 Saturday. Rain, especially in the late morning and early afternoon. Sunday looks nice, 66. Cool Monday, 63. But we're back into the 70s. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We do need the rain, so this is a good thing.
I'm hearing the next round above our heads.
All right, thank you, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6.
With Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. What started out as a typical thunderstorm on a late summer evening took a left turn quickly, and now it's cleanup time after a probable tornado touches down in Ava. It is your top story tonight. First, let me show you where Ava is. We're going to zoom in for you. It's north of Rome, just southwest of Boonville. This all happened after 6 o'clock this evening. This is what our crews found. A big tree came down on a home in East Ava Road. When we arrived, folks there had already started the chainsaws, assessing the damage. Our crews found numerous trees that had fallen down in the area, but no other houses were affected, fortunately. This tree had been uprooted on Flint Town Road. Now, we checked in with the Oneida County Sheriff. He tells me no reports of any injuries, just trees down. We also checked in with Boonville's police chief for possible damage in the village. He said no damage there. Okay, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis for a first look at the forecast. And we want to go back to about 6:15 tonight when things started to change for us.
Yeah, this happened very fast. Normal thunderstorms rolling across the county. It hits this part of northern Oneida County, it starts to spin. And within moments, this rotation on radar ended up producing a debris signature. So there it is.
In the yellow here?
In the yellow here. Okay. This was just east of Ava. This prompted a tornado warning. So we ended up covering the newscast. You heard our weather radio go off. And for folks that say, I didn't get the weather warning, and you really want to get a weather warning, get a weather radio, because it went off.
No question.
No question at all. It interrupted the newscast. Yeah. So that would be my advice. But yeah, this ended up likely producing a tornado. This, again, there's the debris that we spotted right with the rotation. And again, not only did we see the rotation, the debris, but we also had the damage. All three of those things lined up. Now, the Weather Service officially comes to town to storm survey. We are awaiting to see when that's going to happen. We will follow up with you if they come to town. and provide more information on that at a future date. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Widespread rain continues. Things are starting to quiet down. Temperatures are cooling off. It's 60 degrees is the current temperature. We will continue to see rain showers here heading into tonight. Overnight lows will drop into the 50s. Rain comes to an end, and we should see some patchy fog overnight. A much quieter Friday, followed by a cooler weekend. Got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Thank you, Bill. The volume of students.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look outside. It's wet in downtown Utica. We've been seeing rain most of the evening, kind of on the tail end of this cold front that continues to move on out. And behind it, we've got some cooler, drier air. Still some heavier rain out near St. Johnsville, south of Cooperstown, Oneonta. Some thunder and lightning here, but again, this line is moving out to the east, and things are quieting down. A reminder, more importantly now than ever, to get our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. This is a way to get weather warnings to your phone. Another way to do that is to have something called a weather radio. We have one at the station. In fact, I'm going to walk over and show you what it looks like. This was something that went off during our newscast. So we have this in the studio. This actually went off first. That allowed us to hear about this tornado warning. So this is something that I highly recommend too. If you really want to have a fail-safe way of getting weather information, you need to have multiple ways to do that. And again, sometimes things pop up like today where it's not expected, but you can still get information very, very quickly and take action if you need to. Now, looking ahead, high school football, weather's looking quiet. Dry conditions tomorrow, temperatures in the low 70s. Looks like great weather for high school football. A little bit warm for the players, but pretty comfortable for the fans. Much cooler for the weekend. Rain Saturday morning, temperatures in the 60s. It dries out Sunday, partly sunny, temperatures in the mid-60s. This cold front moves to the east. We'll get a chance to dry out tomorrow. And again, the weather is looking a lot nicer here for Friday. Some patchy fog in the morning. We'll see fog lift as we head into the day. Temperatures climb into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Clouds will thicken up tomorrow evening, and we do expect to see some rain as we head into Saturday. Cooler, cloudy, showers, temperatures in the low 60s, 50s where the rain is most persistent. The weather will dry out heading into Sunday. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 54. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high temperature of 80. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers Saturday, 64. Sunday looks nice, 66. Next week, a little bit cool on Monday, 63. We're into the 40s at night. Could see 30s at night, Monday night. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, perfect weather. Sunshine, highs in the low 70s, overnight lows in the 40s and low 50s.
Got to say, it threw me off when that weather radio went off in the middle of the newscast. So glad it did.
Yes,
it gives you
and
the alert, and you know right what
it
it is.
shows you how powerful something like that is. You will get that alert very quickly.
Very important.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. Coming up next, see how it is.
With Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. What started out as a typical thunderstorm on a late summer evening took a left turn quickly, and now it's cleanup time after a probable tornado touched down in Ava. It is your top story tonight. First, I want to show you where Ava is. We're going to zoom in for you. It's just north of Rome and just south of Boonville. This all happened about just after 6 o'clock this evening. Here's what our crews found when they got to the area. This big tree came down on a home on East Ava Road. When we arrived, folks there are already getting the chainsaws out, assessing the damage and cleaning up. Our crews found numerous trees had fallen down around the area, but no houses were affected. This tree, except for that one we told you about, this tree had been uprooted on Flinttown Road. Now, we checked in with the United County Sheriff. He tells us no reports of any injuries at this point, just trees down. We also talked to Boonville's police chief because the storm went up towards Boonville about any possible damage in the village. He said, fortunately, there was none. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis now for a first look at the forecast. And I want to go over how this all went down. So about 6:15, everything was interrupted in the middle of our newscast.
Yeah, we got the warning from our weather radio.
Yeah.
That was our first line of defense, and you can hear it's a loud noise,
Yep.
and it alerted us that there was a tornado warning. The Weather Service issuing this based on rotation, but it was more than that. We've discovered that there was a debris signature as this thing was over Ava. And so this ended up being just moments before the tornado warning was issued, when we think that tornado was on the ground.
And this is the debris in the yellow here.
The debris in the yellow. So this is new technology that's allowing us to see these things, because this ended up being wrapped in rain. Nobody saw the tornado, but there was damage right here at this time with the debris signature. And so that's our protocol. We see the rotation, we line it up with the debris, and if we get damage, that is a way that we confirm tornadoes. We're calling it probable because we still have to wait for the National Weather Service to come into town to officially do the storm survey. We have not heard any word on when they're coming to town yet. If we do, we will pass that along. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Widespread rain continues to move to the east. Things are quieting down. Our temperature is cooling off, 60 degrees. In fact, even some patchy fog is in the process of developing here. And we're expecting that overnight. Temperatures drop into the 50s. A much quieter Friday. A nice finish to the work week. Some rain returns for the weekend. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The volume of students.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. You can see, or can't see from our tower cam because of the fog. That is rolled here on Smith Hill. We're also looking at dreary conditions and patchy fog across the region tonight. It's a live look in downtown Utica. We're tracking the tail end of rain that continues to move through the edge of our area. Otsego County still looking at rain. Cooperstown, Oneonta, Decatur heading to the east of St. Johnsville. This weather system is now moving out and we'll get a chance to dry out tonight. A reminder, you can get weather alerts on our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Again, on a day like today where sometimes things are a surprise, this is incredibly helpful to have. This is free. Another thing that I recommend people do is to purchase one of these. This is a weather radio. This is what went off during our newscast. It's loud, it'll get your attention, and it will go off for severe thunderstorm warnings. And again, this is another way to get weather information. This will cost you, this is free. So having a couple of different ways to do that is highly recommended. For sure, always having multiple ways in case things happen, in case you don't hear it on your cell phone or if the power goes out. Again, it's nice to have multiple ways to get weather warnings. High school football, the weather is looking phenomenal. Should be a warm day. Kind of warm for the players, but for the fans, it'll be great. Temperatures will be in the low 70s tomorrow evening. The weather starts out a little bit gloomy Saturday, cloud showers, but by Sunday, we do expect partly sunny skies and improving conditions. The weekend looks cooler, temperatures in the 60s both days. Rain continues to move to the east tonight, and again, we're looking at dry conditions heading into tomorrow. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, patchy fog overnight will drop down into the 50s. Tomorrow starts out cloudy with patchy fog. We'll see sunshine, and it looks like a beautiful afternoon. Temperatures will be close to 80 degrees. It's breezy. Clouds will be thickening up tomorrow evening. Tomorrow night, rain showers will be arriving late. Saturday, again, kind of a gloomy day. Showers early. They'll linger into the first part of the afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 60s. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 54. Tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny, breezy. Nice day, still pretty warm, but breezy, a high of 80. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers here on Saturday, 64. It's a cool finish to the weekend. Temperatures in the 60s on Sunday. Overnight lows will be in the 40s, 30s in some cases. Monday's high 63, but the weather looks really nice Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with temperatures near 70 degrees.
That's comfortable. That's nice.
Very comfortable during the day. A little cool at night.
Well, that's all right. Just close the window.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Bill. Coming up next.